I must be streaming now. I just must be. It must be working. Let me check the... Okay, there it is. I got the little preview thing. Okay. Sorry. That was incredibly boring. Hey! I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called The God Killer. It's a top-down 3D puzzle-solving adventure game. You control a character who awakens in an afterlife entirely different from any afterlife you've pictured. She's surprised by it, she's confused by it, and who greets her after she awakes but God himself? And God is a pair of floating hands, and he's not really that sharp. At least doesn't seem to be. He repeats himself a lot. He wants her to do things, and he just kind of bluntly insists that she do things. And if you had hoped that God would be something greater, to have this kind of shallow, abusive character show up, present themselves as God, it would hurt a little bit. It would bother you a little bit. Maybe a lot. Maybe a lot. And I understand that. I'm agnostic, but I live my life as an atheist, more or less. But I definitely understand this feeling that, like, if you did meet God, you'd want him to be pretty special. You want him to be cool. You want him to be like the right person to be in charge of the entire universe. So the story is kind of exploring what happens when you find out that the person in charge of the entire universe is not that great. So that's what the game is about. And sorry, I'm being a little bit self-indulgent here. I need a little bit of practice at explaining the game. I found before, when I released a game, it's called DROD, short for Deadly Rooms of Death, which is a game with a big old story to it and a character and lots of solving puzzles, and we made I lost track. It's either 4 or 5 different sequels to it. So when I put that game out, I never got good at explaining what the game was, because I have this thing in me which is anti-self-promotion. And I kind of vowed that if I put out a game again, I was not going to be humble about it. I might be humble about myself, but I would not be humble about the game that I'm putting out, because it doesn't serve me to do that. It doesn't serve the other people, inevitably, that will be involved with the game. So I'll do a proper job of promoting it. And part of that, saying what's good about it, what's unique, and so here and there you'll hear me practice a little bit. Okay, so today, progress every day. I am making some effort to move this game along every single day. Today is no exception. There's a number you see up above me. I'm changing it from 185 to... Watch it. It's going to change. It's going to change right. Oh, it changed right there. 186. How about that? Okay, and the progress I'm going to make is secret progress. Okay, because I had vowed. I don't want to overuse that word. That's too large of a word. I had promised. I guess that's the same as vowed, but vowed is like there's some real emotion into it. Yeah, I had promised. With a small amount of emotion appropriate to that promise, that I wouldn't show past, say, the first 5 or 10 minutes of the game. Now, the timing of the game, I don't know where exactly 5 or 10 minutes is. So there is a certain event in the game which I judge to be maybe the most dramatic moment in the game. It's about past that. It's kind of past that 5 to 10 minute mark, and that is what I'm working on. It's a moment where when you get to it, it'll make you put aside any ideas that you had about what sort of game you're playing and say, this is what we're doing. And maybe you shake your head in disgust and say, forget it, I'm out, this is too weird. But I think most people won't. I think most people will say, wow, that was good. But it's so strange and unusual for a game, and it needs things to be done so well for it to be pulled off that I may not have the capabilities to get it working like I envision it. I think I can, but I may not be able to do it. Anyways, it's a secret thing that I'm working on. I will not reveal it in this stream. This we'll call it the event. The event and everything after it, I'm going to take some care. Every story event that occurs after it, not to blow it on the stream, because I want it to be reserved for people that play the game. So I'm working on this, and it's going to require me to get help from Chelsea Blackwell, the voice of M, to test out this idea. We'll see how it goes. And I may just roll it all back and do something much less ambitious, still really cool, but much less ambitious. I'll see. I got to make what a lot of people call a proof of concept. So I need to do enough work on this to prove that this moment in the game is achievable, and it moves the player in the way that I want it to move the player, as opposed to making everyone just kind of wince and go, oh, when is this over? When is this going to stop and let me play the game again? I just don't like, So it could go off on an embarrassing path. It could go off on a triumphant path, and I need to prove it out. And probably the truth is going to be, the effect is going to be somewhere in between the two, meaning some people will love it, some people will be like, yuck, gross. So we'll see. So I'm going to stop the stream, but I'm going to keep working, and you don't get to watch me work on this thing. Sorry. Stopping the stream, stopping it right now. Bye.